Do you want to know why your team doesn't follow you? Stick around. Here's something painful but true. Your team or your people, they aren't resisting change. They're resisting the fog because your team shuts down, not because they're afraid of hard work. Your team shuts down because they can't see where you're going. And unfortunately, most managers communicate change something like this. We're going to tighten up our TOs. We're going to improve our CSI. We're going to really dial in our recon. Sound like any people you know? And your people hear this. Great, more work for me. For reasons I don't even understand. And for an outcome I can't even picture. And it's going to be led by someone who might forget about this in 6 days. So they don't move. Because that Gleicher formula that we talked about yesterday, it is brutally honest. Remember, D times B times F has to be greater than R. And the V is the vision. And if that vision is weak or fuzzy or even non-existent, then resistance wins every single time. And you end up sitting back and going, oh crap, that's me. I'm Chris Hunsaker, and this is the Dealership War Room. Leadership fire, 7 minutes, built daily, fueled intentionally, and delivered relentlessly. And today, we're going to dive into how do you start getting the kind of vision that gets people to walk through fire for you and everyone else on your team. You're in the war room now, so let's dive in. And here's the part most leaders never learn. Confusion is the silent killer of change. See, your team isn't lazy. They're lost. They can't see the finish line. They can't feel the win. They can't picture what success looks like. And human beings do not move towards pressure. They move towards pictures, and you haven't closed them yet. Let me give you a real world example. A service director rolled out a new write-up process. More consistency, more accuracy, better communication, better transparency, all good things. But nobody followed it. Why? Because he never answered the one question that every employee is silently asking. What does this look like when it's actually working? What's the vision? So here's what we built, the 30-second vision test. And I commend it to you because if you can't explain what you want in your future, what your desired future looks like in 30 seconds or less, you don't have a vision, you have a wish. His final version, 30 seconds of what the desired future actually looked like, felt like, tasted like, was this. In 90 days, we will have the most trusted service lane in the entire county. Every customer gets a walk around. Every RO gets a clear estimate. Every technician gets the information that they need to diagnose and fix the car. And every service advisor gets the paycheck that they deserve. Clear, emotional, picture-based, winnable. And all of a sudden, the whole team leaned in. Why? Because they could see it. You must understand this, that this kind of vision, 30 seconds, describe the future state. Vision reduces fear and it accelerates buy-in. And vision makes change feel safe for your team. Because when your team can see the destination, they stop resisting the road. And that is the holy grail of buy-in. That is how you create real change now. So now let's cross the execution bridge, go from insight to action. Today's challenge that I invite you to take is to write out a 30-second change vision. Pick one area of your business that you're currently trying to improve. It could be your closing process. It might be your service write-ups. It could be follow-up. It could be recon. It even could be BDC discipline. Wherever you know you need to get some change, pick that one area and let's write out your 30-second change vision. And just answer this. What does a win look like? How does it feel when it's working? What will the customer experience? How will the team benefit? And then how do I say it in less than 30 seconds? Let me give you a great AI hack. All you have to do is take out your ChatGPT, open up your phone, and while you're walking, don't sit down and try and type all this stuff out. Just while you're open up your ChatGPT and talk into it and just say out loud the answers to all these questions. And then here's the prompt. I want you to be a world-class trainer, marketer, and influencer. And will you take my answers that I just put in there and give me a 30-second change vision that is compelling, emotional, connecting, and will help create absolute clarity and buy-in for my team? And then hit send. Boom. All you're going to have to do is maybe adjust 1 or 2 words, and instantly you go from thought to action, from insight to action by using AI to bridge that gap where we always procrastinate. And now you collapse that. There's no procrastination. You go to, here's the process I'm trying to change. Here's the inputs that I need. Now you put it into AI, gives you the vision. Now you pull your team together and you have a killer conversation. And everybody can see it, feel it, and they know the destination, and the resistance goes away. And if it takes longer than 30 seconds to explain, then it's not a vision yet. Work it, tighten it, sharpen it, make it emotional, make it picture-based, make it powerful, and continue to use your own gut feel, your intelligence and your wisdom, and the speed of processing the AI gives you to narrow it down, rehearse it, and do it until you can do it on demand and really close people on your vision. Because remember, at the end of the day, everyone that walks into your store is a customer. Either the customer closes them on their excuse for not buying, or your team closes them on reason to buy. As a leader, you're not selling cars, you're selling ideas, and you need to close them on the vision. And if they don't buy, you didn't close. They need a vision that is simple, specific, and emotional. They can feel it, but it's also visual, it's repeatable, it's winnable. In other words, you can see it, touch it, feel it, taste it. It is a real vision. It's not just a statement that you throw out on a Saturday morning sales meeting. If today gave you some clarity and you had a few wow moments and you want help turning vision and insight into execution that actually changes culture, moves behavior, and moves numbers, then text the word change to the number that you see on the screen, and we'll give you instant access to our AI execution assistant. This is like your personal trainer, your personal in-room assistant to help you really get clear on what specifically you need to do to build buy-in, create vision, define first next steps, and absolutely eliminate the level of resistance so you can go from insight to action and move your team to action in the areas that it matters most when it matters most. So go ahead, text the word change to the number on the screen and download, and we'll give you great instant access to our AI execution assistant. Tomorrow, do not miss. We hit the next multiplier in this change formula equation, which is first steps. How do you make the first step so easy, so clear, so obvious that you start winning from day one? You're in the war room now where we win. So go out today and create some leadership fire. Really get focused on where do I need to change? Why do I need to change that? And then use the tools, skills, and ideas I'm sharing with you here to create compelling, powerful, emotional, picture-based visions that you can explain in 30 seconds so that you create buy-in, reduce resistance, and make real change in your store. And I'll see you tomorrow in the Dealership War Room.